Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga and Reiki Bliss. Uh, it's summer where I am. It's been a really hot and humid summer. In the Ayurvedic tradition, summer is linked with the Pitta Dosha, one of the elements that is part of our makeup, right? And for some of us, we have more of one dosha than another, more one quality than another. But Pitta is linked with summer. And in the summertime, it can get really agitated um, because summer and pitta share very similar qualities: heat, humidity, moisture. And so, too much of that can really overstimulate pitta and can make us start to feel a little more irritable, a little more aggravated and cranky. As opposed to when pitta is balanced and we feel sharp, right? We feel super focused, um, insightful, like we're right there. We're super focused. Uh, so I thought we'd practice today a few poses to help bring pitta back in balance. So the pitta energy resides in the belly. So we're going to spend a little bit of time opening up the area around the belly to create a more cooling, calming environment there. So for our practice today, we're going to need a block. It might be a good idea to have a blanket too. This way you've got a little extra support, because one of the things we want to make sure of as we're working here is that we're not rushing, we're not pushing, because that's just going to add to our agitation. So let's up on the mat. And our first pose is just a nice, easy, supported bridge pose. So I'm going to use my block, but you could also use a blanket that's just thinly folded in half, right? It's not too wide. I'm going to use my block though. I also like this pose not only because it opens the belly, but also gets the head down. Uh, just a little bit. And getting the head down, right? If you think of heat rising, if your head is up, you can imagine how stimulating that is. And right, head up poses are more stimulating than head down poses. So this one gets the head down, which can be very calming and cooling to the brain. And so I've just slid my block under my pelvis, and it's not too far down toward my bum, and it's not way up high in my low back. It's kind of in the middle, right? So I've got the bulky part of my pelvis sacrum resting on the block. So you may have to wiggle to find a place of comfort, but it should feel pretty comfy. And then it might be nice to open the arms to the side or even overhead, right? This could be really nice to create some room in that belly, front, sides, even the back, to let air circulate. And as you start to find your way into this pose, take a moment to settle into your breathing. And see if you can let the breath be very gentle here, resisting any temptation to pull the breath in or push the breath out. Allow your head to be heavy, your shoulders heavy. your pelvis and your feet nice and heavy. Notice if there's any tension in and around your face or your jaw, and see where you can release a little bit. Take one more moment, one more breath here. And before we shift out of this shape, I'd love for you to notice the temperature of your body, particularly around your belly, your head. Notice the quality of your brain. And then from here, you can take a breath in and root into your feet, lift your hips, and then slowly ease your hips down. Again, take a moment to welcome a breath so that you don't feel like you have to rush. And with your next exhale, we'll roll to one side. Again, take a breath. And then we'll use the top hand to help us press all the way up to sit. We're going to come to sit. And I would encourage you to sit up on your block or up on your blanket or a combo of the two. So that when you come to sit, I'm sitting on the corner. Not only am I thinking about, the pelvis being upright, but I'm trying to think about how can I create space, room in this belly, side waist, even back, right? All this region. How can I create room here? So sitting up in a way that allows for there to be space there. Sitting up in a way that allows your ribs to just effortlessly float over your pelvis. And your head to just effortlessly float over your ribs. And then we're going to move with the rhythm of the breath, your rhythm, so that when you breathe in, your two arms float up. And when you exhale, we'll drop your right hand down and make a little side bend. As you breathe in, we'll float up. And we'll side bend the other direction again, just creating a little soft space through the right side of your waist. And follow your breath in to float up. Again, let's go over to your right. So opening up the left side body, letting the ribs get a little more spacious. As you inhale, float up. And use that whole exhale to empty you over. Right? The exhale is the more calming, cooling part of the breath. I'm going to do this one more time. We'll inhale the arms up. We'll take it up and over. Use that whole exhale, empty, empty. And then when you breathe in, we'll float up and we'll take it over to the other side. And when you breathe in, we'll float up. And when you exhale, we'll take the hands together at your heart. And again, we'll just take a moment. You can bow your head, come back to your breath. And notice as you settle into the breath, does that offer you any space between your thoughts? Can the brain start to cool down? And then from here, we'll release your hands and we're going to do a little shift onto your knees. So you might want a blanket under your knees so that there's a sense of softness here. I'm going to have my block out in front. You could use 2 blocks here. I just happen to have one today. I'm going to rise up to stand on my knees. And from here, I'm going to step my right foot forward. Create a little rocking of your pelvis forward toward your front foot, like your sitting bone was chasing your heels. If you have blocks, you can prop your block on the high height again so you create some space in that belly. Gently lift your chest. And then when you exhale, we're going to rock back. I'm going to slide my front leg nice and long. And with an inhale, I'm going to rock forward. I'm going to push down into my block. I've got my other hand on my thigh to push into, just to open up some space in the front of the body. And then as I exhale, I'm going to rock back, let the back body open. I breathe in, again, just rocking forward on your breath in. We'll do this 1 or 2 more times. When you rock back, you're welcome to bow your head. Let it drop into that more quieting place. And let's go 1 more time forward. You want to stay in the forward. Slide your right hand onto your right thigh. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. We'll have a lunge. Gently root through your 2 hands and start to turn your belly and your chest toward the right, nice and gently. You can stay here or breathe your right arm to the sky and welcome a breath in. And use your twist, or use your exhale rather, to help you gently twist. Then when you breathe in, unwind back to center. Exhale your left knee down and come to stand on your 2 knees and take a breath. And just notice the way the breath moves through your rib cage, through your lungs. And when you're ready to exhale next, we'll step your left foot forward. And same idea, we'll start to rock the pelvis forward to lifting just lightly through your heart, through your breastbone. And as you exhale, rocking back so that you can have that moment to bow in. Follow your inhale to gently rock forward, lift your heart. Follow your exhale to gently rock back and bow in. I'm going to do that 1 more time. Then when you inhale next, rock forward till your whole foot's on the ground. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. And give a firm rooting down into your 2 hands, like you're trying to create more space between the ground and your armpits. And then turn your ribs. And you might notice in your twist, your pelvis is turning, your belly, your ribs, your shoulders, everything's coming to the party. As you like, you can breathe your left arm to the sky. But let the breath in inform some space in your body. Let the breath out inform the twist. And then when you breathe in next, we'll bring your hand down. Exhale your knees back. And here we are. Now let's widen the knees a little bit. And depending, if your hips and knees are willing to bend this much, come into a slightly wide-kneed child's pose so that you've got some room to let your belly soften. If your knees don't like to bend that much, stay a little more upright, drop to your elbows, and let the head bow. And still got all this wonderful space for your belly, for air to circulate, for breath to breathe. And then with your next breath from wherever you are, we'll walk it back up. And last thing might be really nice. If you have a wall nearby or you have a chair nearby, I'm just going to use my wall right here because it's right here. I'm going to bring my blanket right up. So again, I just have a nice sense of cushioning. I'm going to roll onto my side and scooch my legs up the wall. I'm pretty close to my wall here, but if it's too stressful on the back of your thighs, your hamstring muscles, then scooch a little further away or rest your legs up on a chair, right? So with the knees bent on a chair, you got a little less pull on those hamstring muscles. But otherwise, we'll come back to legs up the wall pose, let the arms open out. And just take a moment to feel the weight of your legs heavy. Let your toes relax. Feel the support of the ground underneath you, so you can allow yourself to release a little bit more. You don't have to effort anything here. Again, this is just another way to shift gears for the brain, to get the brain down. So between the support of the wall, the support of the ground, your body being supported, your brain being down, we're just creating the environment where a more calming quality can arise. You can stay here for as long as you like. I could stay here forever, but we're not going to do that now. If you want to stay longer, by all means. Otherwise, sometime in the next breath or two, bend your knees, step your feet down the wall, and take a moment before you move again just to notice the temperature of your skin, particularly around your belly, your head. Notice the quality of your brain, quality of your skin, your muscles, quality of your eyes, quality of your breath. And then we'll gently roll over and take a breath. And then we'll slowly press on up. And so take a moment again just to notice where you are. Things have shifted if you feel any cooler, physically calmer. All right, my friends, I hope that was useful for you today. I know I feel a little more down regulated, which is always a good thing. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you have any questions or comments, feedback, please put them in the comments below. I look at all of them. If you want to find out more about me and online classes, you can visit thisisyourbliss.com. The link is also in the notes below. And yeah, have a great day. I hope you enjoy practicing with this and let me know how it goes. All right, talk to you soon.